How do you stack up? A sentiment analysis of Masters in Health Administration programs. What do your students think of your program? How do they feel about their professors? Do they look like Ferris Bueller? Or how about this scary thing on the right? The first step of a sentiment analysis involves compiling all comments on the internet in regard to your desired topic. Comments can be found in blogs, on websites, or simply from the results of a Google search. It is important that your topic is researched thoroughly so that an accurate depiction of your subject matter is recorded. In our evaluation of MHA programs, we obtained lists of professors for each graduate program and searched for the professors on ratemyprofessor.com. We also sorted blog comments and comments from the school's websites to ensure a thorough evaluation. Once the comments have been gathered, the data can be analyzed and compared. One method that we used for analysis was finding the time to next complaint. This requires first calculating the daily probability of a complaint from the date of the last complaint. Once the daily probability of a complaint is determined, you can find the inverse of that quantity and subtract it by 1. This leaves you with the time to next complaint. This is a standardized measure that makes it easy to draw comparisons between programs based on the time between negative feedback. One of the programs that we examined was from the University of St. Thomas. Here is an example of a comment worthy of documenting. It directly identifies the issue at hand and provides insight into what a student thinks about this particular class in the St. Thomas Masters in Health Administration program. Here is the breakdown on what was documented for the St. Thomas MHA program. There were a total of 28 complaints, comprising 40% of the total comments. 3 students who made complaints failed to leave specific comments. Of the other general complaints, they were targeted in 3 areas. Those areas were grading, teaching style, and clarity. Here we see a snapshot of the hundreds of comments collected for our data pool. These comments contributed to the overall sentiment analysis that was performed. As mentioned earlier, ratemyprofessor.com was very valuable in our data collection. This site is specifically dedicated to professor ratings. It allows students to rate the professors of specific schools based on easiness, helpfulness, clarity, and rater interest. Naturally, the information on this website proved to be appropriate. Here is an example of how comments fit into various categories typically used by students and program evaluation surveys. The areas include easiness, helpfulness, clarity, and rater interest, as just mentioned. Sentiment analysis, as previously mentioned, allows us to analyze and compare. Sentiment analysis made it possible for us to evaluate the Pennsylvania State University, Georgetown University, California State University, George Washington State University, and other state universities' Masters in Health Administration programs in relation to one another. Here is a visual representation of the raw data that we collected. We can easily identify Johns Hopkins University as the best program and California State University as the worst, based on student opinions. This method of comparison is an exact evaluation that is unique and unprecedented. The current system of evaluations for these programs is far more subjective than this analysis. The current system does not rate each program on a quantitative scale. Instead, the scales are flawed by a subjective nature. Another evaluation tool that is commonly used is that of U.S. News and World Report. According to U.S. News and World Report, all health rankings are based solely on the results of peer assessment surveys sent to deans, other administrators, and/or faculty at accredited degree programs. Respondents then rate the academic quality of programs on a 5-point scale. The respondents are instructed to select do not know if they have insufficient knowledge to rate a program. Because U.S. News and World Report and other current systems are so subjective, it is clear why sentiment analysis is a successful tool. We use primary data directly from students to conduct the assessment of programs. This allows for a quick look at what would be the most successful programs for students. The importance of the quality of faculty, being the primary means of comparison, demonstrate the high importance of the faculty at these programs. Faculty are the instruments through which students receive knowledge and as such should be the primary measure for the quality of a program, not a subjective analysis from other administrators. Thank you for your time and for listening to our sentiment analysis of MHA programs.